Shorty gon' hit me up on Snapchat, so you know I had to hit it with a snap.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Finding Neema podcast. I'm your host and your entertainer of the evening. My name is Neema Naz, aka Neema Naz, like always. The episode is sponsored by nobody because I'm still broke and not famous. But it's okay because we're living. We're here to have a good time. And that's the only thing that's going to happen. Let me just adjust my mic. Why is it like this? Why are you like this, Mike? So, yeah. I got a lot of shit to talk about this week. It's been a fun week. I've been, eating healthy. I've been losing some more weight. I just feel like my weight's just shedding off nice and slow, and it's been going well, and I'm very happy about it. And I'm very excited to get my next week going. Got a lot of things planned and coming up. I filmed a lot in the past few days, which has been nice. The beginning of the week was a little slow. I wasn't really feeling it too much, so I was kind of just lax, chilling, watching some Netflix. It's been a while, man. It's been a while since I've just not done anything and just chilled and took time for myself. I take time for myself every day in terms of actually just my mental health and exercising, my physical health, all that good stuff. But just like it's been a while since I just literally did nothing and just chilled and watched TV, or you know what I mean? Because usually I'm always on the go, trying to film stories, do a vlog, do some podcasts, film a new video, like write some more content, produce some more shit, edit some more videos. Takes up a lot of time of my days, right? And then by the time I want to just chill and hang out, I don't really have the time or really the just like the urgency or the crave to do it, because by the end of the night I'm pretty tired and I'm like whatever. And plus, like, by the time it gets too late, by the time I actually want to go and watch TV or some shit like that, it gets too late. I'm like, I can't just start watching something now. Might as well just keep doing some more work. And also, my parents go to sleep earlier than I do, way earlier. So it's like, okay, well, I can't watch when they're asleep anyway, so might as well just not watch it. But anyways, now that you don't give a shit about anything I just said, let's get into it. I want to talk about what's going on, and in the being in quarantine, and it's coronavirus, all this bad stuff happening in the world. I miss stand-up comedy a lot, because I don't know if you know this. If you don't know this about me, I'm a comedian and actor, first of all. I'm a comedian and actor, writer, producer, everything, right? I make content online. I've been making content since 2014 on YouTube, consistently for 6 years pretty much at this point now. Actually, like about around 5 years. So I missed a bunch during a certain year. I forget when. But anyways, I've done a lot of content, and I just signed with a new voice agency, which is I'm super proud of, and I've been busting my ass for 5 years trying to get a voice agent, so I'm happy I got that finally. I have an acting agent which I've been with for over a year now, and I'm very excited about that. I've been doing a lot of self-tapes at home because we can't go out and do auditions right now because of COVID, right? You gotta stay isolated. So I do all that, and then stand-up comedy is one of my main things that I actually really enjoy doing the most out of all these things. Making videos, acting, voice, everything, writing. So stand-up comedy is one thing that I just like. I can't stop thinking about every day, and it's been over 4 months since I've been on a stage. It's telling jokes to people, which is insane. This is the longest I've gone without telling jokes on a stage since I started doing comedy. And even like when I started doing comedy, I would do at least one set a week if I had to, right? Like if I wanted to. But man, 4 months, 4 months. I'm like, that's like halfway to a pregnancy, halfway to a baby, pretty much. Okay, this is insane. I've gone half of 9 months, which is half of having a baby, without doing stand up. That's the worst analogy of all time. I know. I know. I get it. But just to put it in perspective, I've gone 4 months, which means 4 monthly rent payments without doing stand-up comedy. I've gone roughly 7 to 8 period 7 to 8 periods that women get without doing stand-up comedy. Listen, I'm very well aware these are the worst analogies I've ever given, and I should just stop right now before I dig myself into a bigger hole than I already have. I just couldn't find any other better example for you to understand what I'm going through. Basically, that's a third of the year. That's a good one. That's a third of 1 year I haven't done stand-up comedy, which is insane in the stand-up comedy world, because you could go like 3 or 4 months without doing like work, like people who don't go to work, 9 to 5 job, and it's like, okay, whatever, it's great. But like, and then like when they go back, like they're just normal. They're good to go. Like they don't forget shit. That it's just like go straight back into it, right? It's like normal routine, and they don't lose anything. Nothing happens. They still get paid, whatever. But stand-up comedy, we don't get fucking paid shit. We don't have like a union or a constant paycheck and stuff like that, right? We get paid by the show and all the traveling we do, the tours, the sets, man, the all the shitty sets we do at open mics, in basements, in dungeons, in attics, in backyards, and all those other grungy areas. And so we're not making shit now, and we're losing money. And we're losing our abilities to tell jokes on stage because we're not practicing that act, that skill. It's like you wanting to be a drummer and then stopping for 4 months, and then when you go back, obviously you're gonna be rusty, right? Because you haven't played in 4 months, and who knows how much longer it's gonna go. So it's a little concerning. It's honestly a little concerning, considering this is like what I want to do for my career, the rest of my life. I love stand-up comedy. I love making people laugh. I love making people happy, making their days a little bit better, bringing some joy into their night, right? And also just working on my craft on my own, making myself better, my material better, right? I need to hone that craft on stage, and I can't. And I'm in a dilemma, man. I just don't know what to do. And I mean, like, obviously I have to wait. I can't just go perform anywhere. There's nowhere to perform. There's these shitty fucking secret backdoor backyard shows that are happening now. They're popping up, but I'm still not doing that. Okay, I'm not stooping that low to perform in a fucking park. I'm not gonna perform in a park in front of like whoever. It doesn't matter who's there or whatever. Okay, I'm doing stand-up comedy the traditional way, the real way, which is in front of a fucking audience of people on a stage. That's it. Okay, nothing else. I'm not looking to do anything else. So yeah, that's one thing I've been concerned about over the past few months, and I hope I can provide a little insight on what's going on with that, because many of you may or may not know about the career and the industry of comedy itself. So just try to shed some light on it. But it's tough, man, because I'm actually lucky. I'm at an advantage because I not only do stand up. Like I said, I act, I do voice acting, I make content online, YouTube, Instagram, all this other shit. Who the hell's ringing the doorbell? God damn, bro. Every time I want to film a podcast, someone in my family has to make noise. This is what it's like living in a Middle Eastern household. I'm trying to do a fucking podcast, and then the doorbell rings. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know why it sounded Indian. You know what I mean? So what's going on? Okay, I'm trying to do a podcast. The one time I want quiet to record a podcast. Y'all gotta ring the doorbell, and the dog starts barking because she's not trained enough, and she just barks at everything. A leaf could move, and she'll just bow, 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 bow. Callie, shut up. Trying to do a podcast here. So it's very annoying. It's very annoying. I'm trying to record. I'm telling stories. I'm doing podcast things, and then the doorbell rings. Fucking my dad opens the door, shuts it, slams it after. The dog barks. Mom's yelling. Why is nobody helping in my house? I have to do all the work. Okay, I know you said that 7 hours ago. For the past 7 hours. Okay? Why can't I just have some peace? But also, I can't really complain because I live at home and I'm too broke to move out, so I understand. I'm just joking, but also, it sucks. This is what it's like being in a Middle Eastern family. There's no privacy. Someone will walk into your room at any point. It doesn't matter what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it. Someone will walk in. either asking for something or telling you to do something or asking what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing, and that's it. And then someone gets mad, there's a yelling match, a plate might get thrown, something bad might happen, but also like you're gonna eat a feast after. So there's compromise. There's compromise in this household. So, anyways, now that I'm completely thrown off and sidetracked from the doorbell ring, let's continue. So stand-up comedy. So now, now the way the world's working and like everyone's wearing masks and it's like quarantine and clubs and concerts, all those big large group gathering events, they're done for a while. I think there's no way that stuff is going to be opening up anytime soon. So yeah, I'm thinking about stand up and what's going to happen to stand up comedy, and I was like thinking in 2021 stand up comedy is just going to be, it's going to be me in my room, in a dark fucking random room with a spotlight on me, telling jokes to a laptop in front of random people, and then you just can't hear them laugh because their mic's not on. You're the only one that they can hear, and that's it. That's all of stand-up comedy. It's going to become so obsolete, and it's done. There's nothing else we could do. That's it. It's all going to be technology. It's going to be online, and it just completely takes away from the art of it, the actual career itself, the career path, because stand-up comedy is made to be performed live. That's all stand-up comedy is. That's what stand-up comedy is. Okay, stand-up comedy is like the only thing where like you have to see it live, and that's the best way you're gonna see it. But you can also say that about musicians, obviously, and whoever else that's an artist. But stand-up comedy specifically, like it's like you can't, at least like music, you can listen to it on Spotify or on your phone or your laptop in the gym, and it's fine. It's like it's pretty good. It's already like really good that way, and it's fun to listen to. But stand up and the music, it's like the same as going to a concert, except like concert obviously it's like more fun and like its atmosphere is better. But like overall, the music is the same and same whatever. It's the same thing. In fact, I actually prefer just listening to music on just on Spotify, like on my phone or something, because then go to a concert. Because every concert I've been to, like they've been fun, but I'm like, the artists always sound better on the actual track that you listen to on your headphones or bump it in a club, because it's mastered. It's more made for radio, and then you realize, oh, this person actually isn't as good as they are on like the radio, on the actual track where you listen to it, because they're just live in person. They don't have any auto tune or all this bullshit around them, and so it really kind of like dumbs down their talent in a way, and it sucks. It's a shame, because like they're actually like their songs are actually fire and they're really good songs, but then you see them in person and you're like, it's not as good. You know what I mean? It kind of kills it. There's only a very select few people who are exceptional live, and even better live than they are on their actual tracks, like on the music that you hear that's not live. Like Justin Bieber, I've never seen him live, but I've seen live videos of him and just like him singing raw vocals at concerts, and I'm like, this is incredible, right? And he actually puts on a performance. And then there's someone else, I forget who, but anyways, so that's that. But then like, so stand-up comedy is not like that. Stand-up comedy, it's you have to see the stand-up comedy live, because that's like, you can't imitate that anywhere else. Because like you could listen to stand-up comedy online with your headphones in on a drive, just put it on, like it's pre-recorded, and then just listen to it and maybe laugh, but it's just not the same experience at all. It's actually not that funny when you just listen to it on the car, because you're not actually there in person to see the guy's face, his emotions, his facial expressions, the way he delivers his lines, stage presence, crowd interaction, everything, and just like his tone and everything that you see live is so much better than not live for stand-up comedy. And I tell people that all the time, and a lot of people that just haven't been to a comedy show, so they don't even know how it's like. And I'm telling you, it's like thousands times better live. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just the way it is, man. It's just the way, like, you when you hear jokes live, the actual experience itself live is like so much better, man. There's an insurmountable amount of laughter in person than not. I don't even know if that made sense. I just like using big words. I for sure used it wrong. I don't even know what it means, to be honest, but I thought I sounded smart, so I used it. But so anyways, but at least for me, you know what I mean? Like, I see a lot of my comedian friends, or a lot of people who I know who are comics just around the world. They don't do content online like I do. They don't do shit like this, or make funny videos or stories or tweets, all this shit, whatever. And it's a shame, because I'm like, these people are actually hilarious in person on live doing stand-up comedy, but they don't have anything else. So now I'm like, kind of like, damn, I feel bad for these guys and these girls that, like, now they're just at home doing nothing, because all they had was stand-up comedy. But at least I look on the bright side for myself, and I think about, okay, well, at least I have an advantage here. Like, not that I'm in a race to do anything. I'm just saying I don't really have it that bad, and especially as bad as these other comics, because I at least have my whole social media platforms. I know I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Snapchat, YouTube. I do podcasts, vlogs, funny videos every single day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always creating shit. I'm writing and whatever. And it's like, okay, well, I can at least work on these skills for the time being, which is nice. And I've been doing that. And I've actually gone even harder during quarantine than I was before quarantine, at least with my online stuff, which is actually good. And I've been building more of a following. And that's the whole goal for me, man. I just want to build as big a following as I can, do the best I can, be as funny as I can, just keep growing, and just inspire as many people as I can, entertain every day, bring some joy into people's days, and make myself happy more than anything, because that's number one. You got to make yourself happy before anyone else, okay? Put yourself first before anyone else. In order for you to be selfless, you have to be selfish. And that's it. And so it's actually a blessing in disguise for me to have Corona happen, because I've been having so much more time to work on my videos and writing and editing and just honing my skills here at home. But one thing I'm lacking is stand-up comedy, and just like the actual experience and the practice of doing jokes on stage, which is fine, whatever. Like, if with anything else, I'll just get back into it as soon as I can, and it'll be rusty at first, but the more you plan, the more you prepare, the better you'll be, and that's all that matters. So, and that's the thing. Like, you have to have a good attitude about it, because if you just like kind of give up and think about, oh well, stand-up comedy's been gone for a year, how can I come back now? Like, I can't come back now. Like, it's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna work. I'm not gonna be as good. Fuck it, man. I think I'm just gonna give up. Like, you can't think that way, because that's never gonna work out in your favor, and it's just not a good way to think, because a small bump in the road should never define the rest of your life. And you just have to keep your head down, keep serious, and have your goals in mind, have it set, and just continue working at it as much as you can. So, speaking of social media, I want to talk about people who have followings, because like over the past week, I don't know what it was, I don't know what it is, but over the past like week or so, I've had a few different people who I actually know in person, and some that I don't know, but we've had conversations online, and they're fans of mine, and I've interacted with them. For some reason, I've been getting attacked for doing nothing, but nothing in my own head. But to those people, it was like something massive that I did wrong. And I'll tell you that in a second, because I'm going to take a sip of water. Quench your thirst. H2O coming this fall. Da 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 da. So, yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the moon or the sun, the heat. Everyone's getting agitated, or Libra, starlight, fucking astrology bullshit, galaxy, the stars, whatever terminology these basic white girls are using. To check their astrology or whatever. What's some Mercury in retrograde? Mercury in retrograde, not retrograde. Mercury in retrograde. Okay, but for some reason I've been getting attacked. I don't know why. All at once too, right? Like, and so one example that I'll tell you what happened, and I'm not gonna name names because obviously privacy reasons, but I'll tell you the gist of the story. So I'll give you some background context of how I operate my social media. So I get a lot of comments, recently and over the past few months. And, it's typical when you make daily content, there's always going to be interaction, right? And I have a high engagement rate on my page, which I'm very grateful for. And I've built my following to get to this point, and I'm only trying to increase it. But the problem is there's sometimes every day it gets overwhelming when I check my DMs or my comments on my posts, all the replies. And so what I do is I try to interact with my fans as much as I can, with people who support my stuff every single day. I try. And I genuinely enjoy doing it, and I like making people happy by liking their comments or even replying back to them. I just love the feeling that people get when someone does that. Someone who's famous or quote unquote or as an influencer or has a following that they look up to replies to their comment or even likes it, right? I want to make someone's day, right? I'm always out to make someone happy. But the problem is I get so overwhelming sometimes when there's too many comments for me to check, and I fall behind that I just at least worst case I'll just like the comments, right? Because I need to just hurry up and move on to the next thing I need to do on my day. Because I can't just waste too much time on just being in my comment section and my DMs every single day, which I've done a lot, mind you, over the past course of the year. I've had my struggles and my issues of being addicted and stuck glued to my phone, not even just checking comments and DMs, but constantly replying to people and having chats with them, being too nice and too into it, and scrolling through my Instagram feed, watching stories, blah blah blah, all this bullshit. So I get it, and that really just ruined my day and my weeks and threw me off my path, and it really distracts you and gets you kind of sidetracked to the point where you don't even know what you're doing anymore. You don't have a plan. You're just kind of wasting time away, and it's not effective at all. It's not sustainable long term, and it's gonna kill my career if I continue this behavior. So I'm actively working hard to not do that, and so in order to do that, I've had to cut back on getting back to every single person on my posts and in my DMs. So now I just kind of, at the very least, I'll like comments. Okay, I've liked comments anyways, always, but I've always also commented on every single comment. But now I'm cutting back on commenting on everyone because I've built the support and the trust. So now I comment back on a few different comments, and then majority of them I'll just like. But the problem is when I like a comment, sometimes I'm skimming through quickly because I'm just running low on time, and so I just like everything, right? And all the replies, everything, I like everyone's comments. So this past couple of days ago, I'm going through my comments on a post, and someone made a comment. This girl made a comment about something. I'm not saying what it is exactly, but I'm just telling you what happened. This girl commented about me, just kind of roasting me, but in a fun way, and I know she's joking, right? Which is fine. I've talked to her online many times, and she's a funny person, and she has a dark sense of humor, and she laughs at shit. I laugh at everything. I don't get offended, right? So I like her comment, and then someone else comments on that same post that this girl commented on my post. This other guy comments something, but I don't really read it. I just, like I said, I skim through it all. I like all the comments on this little mini thread, and then I go and do my thing. 2 hours later, I go back on Instagram to check something, and then I see this DM from this girl that that commented on my post originally, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Let me check this message, whatever. And it's a long message because you can see how it says the number of messages. It's 7 messages. What the fuck, 7 messages? How did this happen? What is she messaging me all this much? So I check it, and she wrote like an essay about, yo, like, how dare you fucking like this comment, like this person's shaming me and blah blah blah, blah and all that stuff. Like I thought you were, I thought you had a backbone, like you're ignorant. I thought you were cool and all this shit, and immediately accused me and jumping to conclusions. And at first I saw when I saw that I was like, whoa, hold on here. First of all, damn, you don't gotta attack me like this. I didn't do anything. I didn't even know what I did. And I saw that, I checked back on that comment that she made, and I realized I liked someone's comment that was body shaming her, but I didn't read it. I just liked the comment, and that's where the miscommunication happened. And this is why I like providing context before people fucking jump down other people's throats. You need context before you jump down someone's throat, because you don't know why I liked that comment. You just think I liked it. Literally, she said, "I saw you like it, so that means clearly you're also on that guy's side, and you think I'm this, and you think I'm big, and you think I'm fat, or this and ugly." And I was like, "What? No, not at all. What? Like, how did you come up with that conclusion, right?" And so that's why I'm very keen on having context before you make a decision or come to a conclusion. It's very important, especially nowadays. So much garbage is out there, all this shit information that it's very artificial and superficial, and no one wants to do the research, and people end up getting their feelings hurt, and unintentionally most of the time. And so I want to say, like, it's crazy how, and this whole scenario happened to me like 3-4 different times this week, all for similar reasons with no context, and people thought I was hating on them and being ignorant, and I was a piece of shit, whatever, just giving me all these bad names, calling me out, like saying some hateful shit towards me too, even, and saying like, I thought you were better than this. I was a big fan. Now I'm not. Have a great future. Good luck in your future. Like, all the best. Like, what? How did you get to this point? And so why I'm bringing these up is because I want to say, like, people who are like social media content creators who are famous, who have big followings, influencers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, people like me who has a mini following now, and you know, I get a lot of comments and DMs from my stories and everything, people who actually support me and are fans, which is great. But man, I still get hate every day, and what, just because I have a following, that's okay? Like, people who have followings like me, we have feelings too, man. We get our feelings hurt all the time too. We're the same exact human beings. We just have a little bit more following on social media. That's it. In person, no one could tell the difference, right? So why do people feel the need to attack someone who has a following like that when they wouldn't do that if they didn't have a following, if they weren't famous? That's what I'm wondering, because we have feelings too, man. We're only human. We're not perfect either. We make mistakes. Do you make mistakes? Of course you do, right? So I just feel like a lot of people could have a little bit more context, first of all, before they jump down our throats, but also have a little bit more compassion and love for people like me, like, going forward, because you don't also know what I'm going through or what I'm dealing with on my private life at home, right? So I don't know, and I get it. This is the career I chose, and this is what comes with the territory. You know, it's fine. There's always haters and shit. I don't even care about the haters in general. I'm just saying certain people who just like deliberately come out and like try to attack you, saying like talking shit about your character and your body, especially, and like body shaming someone for no reason. That's what I don't understand. So that's I don't know. I just felt like that's important for people to understand, like a regular person who's not, you know, a famous person or or in the arts or entertainment business at all, to understand, because we got feelings too, man. I cry sometimes. I get emotional. I'm not a woman, but that doesn't mean shit. Women aren't the only people. Women aren't the only humans who cry. Men cry too, more than you think. There's just a stigma behind men crying for some odd reason, because our society's whack and says men shouldn't cry or else they're pussies. So if I'm a pussy, then by all means I'm a pussy. I cry a lot. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I know my sexuality. I'm comfortable with my sexuality. I know I'm a guy. I know I'm straight. I like women, but I'm still going to cry because I have feelings. And that's okay to express. If you're a man, you shouldn't hold back, bro. I hate the stigma that men can't cry. Fucking cry, dude. Cry. Let it all out. Bawl your eyes out. Don't stop saying... it pisses me off when guys want to cry or they get emotional and they're just like... yeah. Oh, man, I think I got allergies. Oh, got allergies. It's allergy season. Yeah, no. Then something went in my eye. No, shut the fuck up. Just say you were crying because you're emotional and you're sad. And you have feelings, dude. You have feelings. Guys have feelings too. Let it out. What's the problem here? I don't get it. What's this? It's so toxic to hold this shit back. That's what bothers me. So many guys, so many men out there who have this false perception of other guys calling them out for being gay because they're crying. I don't understand that. For me personally, I cry all the time. Okay, I'm letting you know because I don't give a shit. Because I'm a human being. Doesn't matter if you're a guy, a girl, a transgender person, a fucking animal. Everyone cries, man. So let it out. Why are you holding back? It's actually worse for you to hold it back. That's how so many people suffer through anxiety and depression and all these mental health issues throughout their lives, their entire lives, because they bottle shit up and they take it out on other people, and just it creates a ton of different issues and problems in their lives, and it's so unhealthy. So why not just cry, man? It's so unhealthy to not let your emotions out. And I know I'm going to post this right now. I'm going to post this, and then there's going to be other guys watching this, judging the shit out of me. But I don't care because I'm the one judging you. If you're watching this and you're judging me, I'm judging you right now for not crying, for not being a little bitch and crying. Okay? So be a pussy and cry. Okay? Because if that makes me a pussy, I'm a pussy. I cry. Wah, wah, wah. I cry. Wah, wah, me, mommy. I cry. Yeah, that's me. Okay? Got your jokes out of the way? Cool. Okay? Crying is cool now. Okay? This isn't 1994 when I was born, which is very special, might I add. Okay? People fucking cry. And you should too if you're a guy. Ooh, did I just rhyme? People fucking cry. And you should too if you're a guy. Da-da-down. Da-dum-down. Okay. I don't know. I'm on a massive rant there. So my bottom line is, my point being, don't. If you're a guy, if you're a dude, stop caring about what other guys think, or what anyone thinks about you crying and letting your emotions out. Okay, it's healthy. I'm telling you, you will feel so much better if you just cry and let it out. Okay. And who cares if someone judges you or thinks you're a little bitch or a pussy? Even though you are for doing that, but it's not a bad thing. If anything, that should attract the better people around you, the people who won't judge you and the people who are right for you. Whether it's a woman or a guy or whoever it is, you'll attract the right people around you the more you express your emotions and your feelings, because you'll become your genuine self, and that's the best quality you can have, is to be yourself completely, because you will also completely attract others who are authentically themselves, and you'll be the best group of friends you'll ever have. Okay? You'll be the best little match for each other, whether it's a significant other or a group of friends, because those people also completely understand where you're coming from, and they feel exactly the same way you do in their own way. And nothing's better than that, honestly. And I strive to do that and think that way every single day of my life. At least over the past year or so, I've learned to do that, and I've been living so much happier that way. And I strongly encourage other dudes to do the same. It's just like the stigma of women only cry and men shouldn't cry, or else you're not a man. It's not 1954, okay? Go let the woman do the job, and you sit at home and cry, huh? How about that? Switch the fucking rules for once, okay? Women do the same shit as us, so stop thinking crying is a bad thing. It's a good thing. You'll feel better, guaranteed. So, anyways, now that I've done ranting about men crying, I that's the other thing. Like, and I feel like, well, obviously, this stigma stems from our society and the media, on the news. Just like over time, there people have been brainwashing people into thinking what's right and what's wrong, and nothing's right or wrong. No one knows what they're talking about. First of all, like no one even knows what they're saying. Even same with women's beauty standards. That shit pisses me off. Like how can you put objectively think something is beautiful, or how can you label something as objectively beauty? Like how can you describe one type of body shape or type as beauty? Everyone's beautiful in their own way, but it's society standards that have made other people think, no, this is the right way to be as a woman, this is the right way to be as a man. And then people are losing their minds, killing themselves over these standards because of all this brainwashing. And that's the problem. That's the problem right there. As soon as people start becoming themselves and just doing what they want to do and living how they want to live and wear what they want to wear and think the way that they want to think and not listen to what other people have to say about them, or manipulate them into thinking a certain way or dressing a certain way or doing things a certain way, you'll be the most freeing feeling ever, and you'll live your life the best that you can possibly live. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to do that? I don't know. I guess that's like, and I feel like, and it's the same with porn. Okay, I'll touch on porn a little bit here. Okay, if you're underage, I'm sorry, but I don't know. Eventually, you're gonna probably hear about porn or watch it. Everyone fucking does it. Okay, I started watching when I was in grade 6, which is terrible. I was like 11 or 12. No one should have access to this shit. First of all, who's underage. First of all, under 18 or whatever. But in general, no one should have access to porn ever. Porn shouldn't even be real, because you know why? Guess what? It's not real. Porn is not real. And we're all here soaking it up. Billions of people watching every single day, thinking that, oh, this is how sex works. This is how sex is. But it's not. Plenty of times, over time, as I've grown older, I've heard so many times how porn is fake. Porn is not real. Porn is not what real sex is like. And the more I learn from people and I've watched it a lot in my life, I realized, and like the personal experiences that I've had myself with sex and sexual relationships with other women, I've realized, yeah, man, porn is a dangerous thing. It's a detriment. It's detrimental to your mental health and your perception of sex in general. It's so bad, man. It's so bad for you. And I'm a little bit mad that I've watched it. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I've watched it a lot in my life. Okay, it's pretty much an addiction for me at this point. Even though I've cut it down a lot, mind you, over the past few months, even the past year. I don't really watch it anymore, at least consistently, or like every few days or something like that. I just watch it randomly when I have a craving for it, when I'm just like I can't hold it back. But that's where the addiction comes in, right? When you can't hold something back, you're like, no, you're like itching to watch it or do something. That's when you know you're addicted, right? So, but at least, man, like when I was in high school, I used to watch this shit every single night, bro, or at least every other day. Fuck, so much, man. All those times of pure regret and just dirty, sad thoughts in my mind after I, finished it off, right? And it's a waste of time. It's not good for your health at all. The more you masturbate too while you're watching porn, it actually makes it worse. Especially as I'm talking from a guy's porn perspective right now. Especially if you're a guy, you're more susceptible to getting erectile dysfunction later on in your life. The more porn you watch while you jerk off, while you masturbate, because you're attributing sex like that's normal from porn. So every time you masturbate, you're like, oh, okay, this is great. And so you need that in order to get off and to like get a proper erection and get hard and like, you know, like actually have a proper orgasm, quote unquote. So when the actual time comes when you're about to have sex with a real woman or a man or whoever you're having sex with, you don't feel the same way. Like you don't get erect the same way. You don't get excited the same way, and you actually go limp more because you expect a certain way of sex from what? Ding 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 porn. Because you've watched that shit for your entire life thinking that's normal, but then when the actual time comes when you're actually about to do the thing with a real person, you can't get it up because you realize, oh, this isn't the same at all. This is way worse. It's not worse. That's the normal way. That's just a fabricated story that you've been told for your whole life, and it's fake. It's not real. It's a fantasy. That's what it is. It's literally a fantasy. So that's the big issue right there too, for guys especially, and it's just the perception, and for women, it's a false perception of of the kinks and the dirty fetishes that they have, because some women, they watch porn and they think they love getting throat fucked and shit like that, but I'm like, I don't believe that. There's no way. Like a regular person likes that. And it's aggressive. It's kind of rapey. You know what I mean? So I just find it weird how people still watch porn and how it's still even around, or how it's not banned. I just don't get it, because it should be. And as much as I've loved watching porn and like it just like it's nice and like I've had good moments obviously, and like I get off and it's like sexy for me sometimes, or I don't know, something in my brain. It's bad. It's bad. It's oh shit. Almost broke everything. So passionate. And it's just, you're never gonna develop a proper romantic relationship with somebody after watching porn for that long, and you know, thinking like it's the same, because there's no love in porn. It's just straight to the sex. There's no real substance. So I don't know. I just encourage, if you're watching this, if you're a young man or a young woman, I encourage you not to watch porn. Okay, but here's the problem with people like me who grew up not learning about sex the proper way from my parents. No one really gave me a sex talk. All I learned from sex was from porn, because I had no one else to tell me about this shit, which is the sad part of living and growing up in a Middle Eastern household, in a Persian household like mine, and many thousands of millions of other families that are like mine who don't bring this shit up to their children. I don't know what it is. It's like it's a cultural thing that you can't, it's like a sin to bring up sex, or it's such a taboo topic, but the parents don't talk about this shit, and more parents like that should be talking about this growing up. Like if I ever have kids, number one thing I'm teaching them is about sex and romantic relationships and friendships, and how to have friends, and with everybody, with people and humans, how to interact with people, right? Because those are the essential things you need in life to get by, and a lot of people lack that because of bad parenting, in a way, and these certain specific aspects, not overall. Okay, sorry. So my camera cut off my phone because it ran out of memory, so I gotta hurry up and finish this off before it dies again. But pretty much I was summing up how porn is bad. It's up to the parenting to teach kids about sex and human relationships and romantic relationships early on, so you don't start learning about sex through porn like I did and millions of other Middle Eastern people in households. So I think I'm just going to end it off there. This is a great episode. Talked a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching my episode every week. I appreciate the love. And if you watch this to this point, please comment #Finding Neema podcast on my newest Instagram post. And I will see you guys on another episode of Finding Neema next week. Thank you so much. This was episode 14. Take care. Have a good night and a week. Wear your mask and wash your hands. All right. Peace.